What's going on, everybody? Nan here, and I want to point out a little bit of a correlation between Surging Sparks and Prismatic Evolutions. Do a little bit of a different video here, and I noticed this today. So I was looking at Surging Sparks, and obviously, you look at the history of the set. The set started pre-sales somewhere around 100, well before the set came out, and it's slowly pushed up, slowly pushed up. We'll just go to the graph here. This is booster boxes. You go to 6. So you have the normal, 150, whatever. But then you got down to 118, 115. And remember, everything before here was still the old pre-sale for 100, 105, 95, whatever the number might be. And then as we get closer to release date, which was November, the set kind of went nuts. And you have a little bit of a basing period. And, it continues to move up. And obviously, there is a reprint coming. But what I want to point out is this is effectively, call it end of September. So September, October, November, December. So 4 months, there have been 10,243 boxes sold. So, average daily of 56. And we're kind of in the middle here, so the chart doesn't really work. But what I want to point out is, this set's obviously started at a much lower basis, and people have consumed it because the value of the cards are so high. Now, Prismatic Evolutions, the ETBs, this is fascinating. Other than all this garbage here that I wish they'd clean up, if we look at the 3 months since this has started to sell, and, call it's probably 3 months, so about a month longer than Surging Sparks, there have actually been 10,576 ETBs that have sold. So while the two items aren't necessarily apples to apples from a value perspective, we have a whole month worth of volume that's about to happen. And, there's a fairly sizable chance that the total dollars of spent in ETBs are about the same as what they are for booster boxes for Surging Sparks. What's interesting is that the volume continues. The total quantity available spiked to like 1,800 a couple days ago. And it starts to come down. And the only reason it's up here, it's increased, is Trading Card World has about 1,250 listed. So there's only 1,300. And what's interesting is a lot of folks cross-post the boxes here. So you see some folks that have, 36, 21, 97. But a lot of these are posted on eBay, on private websites. And these get eaten up relatively quickly. Facebook Marketplace. So, it's not like we're just looking for, we go to yesterday, 273 sold. It's not like 100% of these have to be sold on TCG Player, especially for a product this high. And I think it's a fair assumption that most people probably paid distribution or at the very least MSRP through one of your big box stores, your Walmart, Target, Best Buy, GameStop. So there's a significant dump that we didn't see, and effectively releases right around here. But we see a pretty sizable dump in product because it's human nature. Whereas with Prismatic Evolutions, the base started low, and everybody started with a low basis and continued to go up, and they didn't really have an inherent or intrinsic gain in the product. So that's a long way of saying that the total demand for this product, in my view, is a good amount greater than Surging Sparks, because the product's only been released for a week now, or 10 days, whatever the number is, which is absolutely insane. And, we're still selling 300 of these on a Monday, and Mondays, Tuesdays are historically the slowest days, but the quantity is getting eaten up so fast. And again, the Trading Card World guys have 1,200 listed. Great group of dudes, by the way. Highly recommend buying from those guys and their own website. But within 2 or 3 weeks, there's not going to be any of this left. And we can talk about the secondary items coming out. The surprise boxes, nobody's going to open them because the promos are going to be worth multiple hundreds of dollars with the stamp promos. The bundles, I don't think, are coming out till March. The Eevee pouch is like April, I think. So I think the next item that ships is just the surprise box. If I had to guess, there's not a whole lot of this coming. There's just not. So if you want to own the product, now is the time. I actually was doing an exercise before this. I took the value of all the SIRs in the set, and I believe the math from TCG Player was like 1 in 43 packs or whatever. So I took the market price of all 32 SIRs, average it out, divided by 43, and the price per pack on SIRs, just the intrinsic value, and again, it's obviously skewed by the Umbreon at $1,500-$1,600. And this isn't even talking about getting them graded, right? It's like $4.50 just for the SIR. And that just goes to show that the gambler's premium in this set is so insanely high. If you get nothing, you get smashed. But if you get a hit, you're making a ton of money. So again, people are going to open it. People are going to rip it. In the next 2 to 3 weeks, it's going to start to get scarce, which is terrifying for a set that's only been out for 10 days. And there's not more of this coming anytime soon. And the reason I say that is the fact that they didn't drop the Pokemon Center ETBs on release day is because they don't have them. And the reason that they don't have them, at least in my view, is either A, the line that they manufacture, lines, I'm sure there's multiple, and the facilities they manufacture ETBs are set up for something else. Could be different ETBs, could be something other than ETBs. Again, I would love to know how the factories are configured. If somebody knows, PM me or email me. Or they don't have the components from China. And if you look at the bottom of every booster box, it says, plastic components, the dice, the counters, the sleeves, I believe too, all come from China. Which theoretically is going to become a little bit more difficult now with tariffs and such with, a different administration in place. So anyway, I just want to compare the two because I think it's fascinating that the sales volumes are so close on the two key headline products of the two sets. But I also wanted to take time just to kind of walk through my belief in Prismatic Evolutions. And, I think the dump was a little bit more severe. And that's only because everybody had a gain in the product. And people have FOMO, right? People remember getting smashed on these sets for a year plus. So, probably a little bit of panic in there. But again, if you want to own Prismatic Evolutions, now is the time to do it. It's never going to be less expensive than it is today, at least for the next 6+ months. So anyway, guys, subscribe to the channel, please. Join the Discord. We have some really awesome things coming. We do have the stock tracker application coming in the Discord. And I know there's some other Discords that do it. This is going to be the boomer level. It's super easy, super streamlined. So, feel free to join. We'll have some more information probably tomorrow or Wednesday. So, all right, guys, have a good night.